It is Kieran Trippier. It is delicious! Glorious! Glorious! Walker in there too. Luke Shaw! Harry Kane wants it played into him. He chooses Grealish instead. It's Grealish! It's Kane! England have nothing like this has happened for a long time. Here's the overhead kick from Kane. Palmer finds Watkins. Watkins turns! Watkins scores!
Hello, and welcome back to the Gate 102 podcast. I hope I find you well. Thank you for tuning in today. Really is appreciated. My last episode was me talking about England's 3-0 victory over the USA at Wembley. A really comfortable win, and that's available wherever you get your podcasts. But today we talk about England's next game, and this was against Croatia in the Nations League. And this was a really significant game because if Croatia won, England would be relegated to League B. However, if England won, we'd be top of the group, and this would mean we were through to the finals, which were held in Portugal the following June. So like I say, this game had quite a lot at stake. So I'll go through the team. It was Jordan Pickford in goal once again. Back four for England, which is something that was coming quite common at the time. Kyle Walker, John Stones, Joe Gomez and Ben Chilwell. A midfield three of Eric Dyer, Fabian Delph and Ross Barkley. And then a front three of Raheem Sterling on the right, Marcus Rashford on the left and Harry Kane, who led the line up front. I must also mention that England had obviously played Croatia twice so far in that year before this game. First one came in the World Cup semi-final. Obviously, you don't need reminding of that. And then the second came in the Nations League in the away tie, should I say, which was a goalless draw behind closed doors. So England would have been hoping, third time lucky, that they would finally beat Croatia. So moving on to the game itself, and Croatia had a golden opportunity early on. Delph played a really poor back pass to Pickford, and then this meant Pickford had to come out his goal, and he made a sort of hash of it really, and Croatia had a chance to sort of chip it over him, but thankfully it went over the bar. It's a pretty poor shot in the end, but yeah, it was an early scare for England and a bit of miscommunication between Pickford and Delph, and yeah, it wasn't a bit of a nervy first few minutes, but England did get back in the game and had their golden opportunity. Harry Kane coming deep as he does, and then played a great through ball in behind for Sterling, and Sterling was one-on-one, but yeah, he put it straight at the goalkeeper, and this was a really good chance to open the scoring. I think he got caught in two minds, whether to go for goal or square it to Rashford. And this was Sterling's first game since the 3-2 win over Spain, where he scored 2 goals. So I definitely had more confidence in him after that performance. But England were definitely the better team first half. Harry Kane had 2 really good chances in the space of around 10 minutes. The first was from a corner, Stones flicked it on, and Kane just had to make contact with the ball, and he sort of miskicked it. It was a similar chance to the second goal he scored against Tunisia in the World Cup. And then a few minutes later, he also had a really good chance when the keeper was out of his goal and Kane decided to have a shot from distance, but it was blocked by a defender. 2 really good opportunities for Kane. But it was such a good first half from England in the end. Obviously, they had that early scare between Delph and Pickford, but from that, they were by far the better side in the first half. Ben Chilwell also could have scored. Ross Barkley came close. It's just chance after chance after chance. Even though they went in at 0-0, they created so much, and it was definitely a first half performance to be proud of. And if you think the first 45 minutes were entertaining, the second half was when it got really exciting and really end-to-end stuff. By far one of the most entertaining second halves I've seen watching England, definitely at Wembley. So let's talk about that second half. and it was unfortunately Croatia who took the lead just before the hour mark to make it 1-0. Such a shame because England played so well up to that goal. But it was a really strange goal that Croatia scored. It sort of felt like the player took so long to actually take the shot. He sort of kept twisting and turning in the box. Then he took the shot and it sort of ricocheted off Dyer and went over Pickford, whose outstretched arm couldn't make the save. So, yeah, Croatia were in the lead and undeserved, I'd say, personally. But in typical Southgate style, England never gave up and got the goal to equalise and came back from behind. Substitute Jesse Lingard it was, scoring what will probably be the easiest goal of his career. Tapping it in from the goal line after Kane's original shot was saved. And yeah, this gave England a lifeline. And he'd only been on the pitch 5 minutes as well, Lingard. But England will level. And I must also say, Joe Gomez's long throw for this goal, where did that come from? I mean, I think that was the first time I'd seen him take one, and the distance he got on it, I mean, he can throw it further than I can kick it. Not that that's saying a lot, but yeah, just such a great throw-in, and yeah, just, it was like crossing the box, and yeah, Jesse Lingard it was, who got the equaliser. And not only was Lingard important in equalising, he also cleared one off the line in the opposite 18-yard box. And this was so important. It showed how end-to-end the game was. The fact that one player scores at one end and then a few minutes later the same player clears one off the line at the other end. Yeah, it was such an important clearance, but the atmosphere at Wembley was just brilliant. And I don't often say that to be honest, but it was just electric, and the players looked so up for it as well. And I think part of that is because they'd obviously lost to Croatia in the World Cup a few months back, and it was almost like, yeah, this is time for revenge now. But England got a free kick with around 5 minutes to go. And if there's one thing England have been exceptional at in 2018, it would have been set pieces. Ben Chilwell crossed it into the box, a brilliant ball into the danger area, and you were just waiting for a touch. And at first I thought Eric Dyer was going to score, and he sort of missed it, but there was Harry Kane to score right at the end and make it 2-1 to England. Yeah, it was such an amazing moment, and again, it was so nice to score the winning goal against Croatia this time, rather than them score past us. But the cross from Chilwell was just exquisite, and Kane was there doing what he does. But this was actually his first England goal in 747 minutes. His last goal was against Colombia in the round of 16 in the World Cup, so that was quite a while back from this game. And it was also his 20th England goal. So, yeah, a really special moment for Kane. And not only for him, but for England as well, because it meant they were now top of their group. And if they hung on, which they did, they'd be through to the semi-final stages of the competition. So, such an amazing moment. 2 semi-finals in 1 year. And it was the perfect end to what had been a perfect year for England, really. And what impressed me the most about England across 2018 was they played with such an identity. They had a clear way of playing and a belief about them that just hadn't really been there under previous managers. And yeah, it was a great way to end the year, really, beating Croatia. So yeah, such a special game. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed that episode, because it really is one of my favourite games. And yeah, just one of those special England nights. But next episode, I will actually be speaking to football writer and England fan James Harrison, who we're delighted to have on next week. So we'll be having a chat just about Southgate, really. But I thought I'd get another person on, so it's just not me. But we won't be talking about a specific game as such, but just talking about Southgate more in general. So that's a sort of bonus episode coming next week. And until then, I hope you'll look after yourselves. Thank you for listening, as always. Really appreciated. And until next time, see you soon.